Going into a game that you know you should win, what are the pitfalls of your team becoming overconfident?
Well, first off, this week is all about us. We had probably our most physical practice that we've had, all season right now. And so they understand that this is all about us improving. We have a lot of work to do, a lot of areas, whether it's third down, whether it's penalties, a lot of things to work on, and individually with our guys too. So we really challenged them, and they responded this morning.
The most physical practice you've had, does that mean there's a sense of urgency that's around now?
Yeah, there is, and we're back in a rhythm. We're going to go 6 Saturday games now in a row. We've been in a weird rhythm with a bye and a Thursday, and so it's good to get back in that rhythm and them to understand this is Tuesday practice. This is supposed to be the hardest day.
You talked about third down. What's been the biggest biggest problem that you've seen in third down efficiency?
Well, I just think we just haven't made the plays when they've been there, and at times too. We've been on the road. We've missed some calls and some protections and stuff, and so we'll clean up this week and come home should help too.
Where's your level of satisfaction with the offense's performance so far this season?
Well, anytime when you're where you're at on third down, you point to that first off, and I think we're running the ball really well. The passing game is not where we would like it, but if you're not converting third down, you're just handing the ball back to the other team, and so we had another bad game on third down. And that's 10 possessions we handed the ball back, and that's gonna stop your rhythm.
Lane, it seems like very frequently over the past couple of years, when the defense has made a big play, Juwanza Starling's been a part of it. What do you think it is about him that he has that penchant for the big play at the big moment?
Well, I think Juwanza in general has had a really good year if you start from the middle of last year. We've challenged Juwanza. We've put people ahead of him over our years of being here. We've really worked on his tackling, and he's really responded. If you go over the first 6 games this year and the first 6 games last year, he's played really well, which has been great, and it's been a big key to our defense. Between Juwanza, TJ, and Nikel, they've done a phenomenal job limiting big plays.
And what's your level of excitement being back home after being on the road for so long this year?
Yeah, a lot. I think somebody said we're one of only 2 teams that has only played 2 home games, in Oregon State, who had it canceled, is the other. So it was a very weird schedule. We made it through. It wasn't perfect. We screwed up once. But we're excited to come back to LA, and a sold-out crowd this Saturday with great energy in the Coliseum and ready to be home.
And on the plus side of that, you're home for a heck of a long time now.
Yeah, we are. 5 of the 6 in LA is always great. To be in the rhythm of being in your own hotel and practicing here and not having to get on airplanes is good.
Given the presence of Barkley, Woods, Lee, 2,000-yard rushers, all those things, are you surprised that you've been as inefficient as you have on offense or third downs or whatever it is?
Definitely. I would never have guessed we'd be where we are on third downs right now. But also, in general in offense, we kind of started slow last year too. I think through 6 games, I think surprisingly, Matt's thrown the exact same touchdown passes, and I think we're averaging actually a point or 2 more per game. So hopefully we'll hit our stride like we did last year right about this time.
He's got more interceptions this year.
I'm sure you'd point that out. No, we forced a couple balls downfield. We know that in the Stanford game. We had a tip ball. And, it's hard to repeat what he did as far as, throw that many passes with 7 sacks and 7 interceptions. So hopefully this second half of the year we'll get it fixed.
Lane, over the past few weeks, Silas has really seen an increased workload. He's really stepped up. What have you seen from him over the past few weeks, and how would you say he's done through the first 6 games of the season?
I think Silas has done great, and what you've seen is he's gotten better every week. Remember, he got here 2 days before training camp. That's very unusual. And so for him to come in that late, normally you get a free agent and, you have all off season with him. So that was very, very strange, and it's taken him a little bit of time like it would anybody, but he's really sped up the process, almost knows everything now, and you can see his improvement on the field.
And of course it has to give you a great deal of satisfaction to be ranked again by the BCS after being on probation and suspension for a while.
Well, yeah, it's early, Jim, so that doesn't really mean much as far as where people end up. Everybody's going to eliminate everybody. But the good thing is that you're in those conversations. That's why we came here. That's why these players came here, and it's great for our fans.
What's the situation at the number 2 cornerback spot right now?
Yeah, we're rotating guys through there, trying to get as many reps out of the guys that we can that are a little banged up, and we won't know until late in the week.
And are you opening up the left tackle competition again, or?
Yes, we are. Max took reps there with the ones today. Andre's got to play better. He leads our team in penalties, and we've got to coach better.
How much do coaches hold back in terms of, showing what's really in their arsenal as the schedule goes on, as you get deeper into maybe some tougher opponents. Is that part of what head coaches do? I mean, do you plan not to show certain things until a certain point?
Well, I think so. I think that as a head coach, which is different sometimes as an offensive coordinator, is you look at the big picture more, and you look at matchups on the other side. And so going into that game, we felt we had really good matchups on defense, and really thought that we would limit their big plays and get after the quarterback with our defensive line and create some turnovers. And with that being said, on the road in a hostile environment, we didn't want to go up there and throw the ball 50 times, and get our guy hurt, and the same stuff start happening to us. So, you kind of look at all that together, and that's a good thing about being back home. And there's going to be games where we're not going to feel great about all of our matchups on defense. That's going to happen. We're going to play some more high-powered offenses here pretty soon.
You had another special team situation where you didn't have enough guys on the field and you had to call timeout. Is there something that can be done to prevent that in the future?
There's actually one cloud in the sky today, Scott. You'd find it. John Martinez, it was a long drive on offense, and John was tired and came off instead of staying out for field goals. So that's why we had to waste our time out.
What do you think of Marquise's performance on Saturday? I mean, I don't know how much it has to do with him only catching 2 balls or whatever, but what do you think about how he played?
Well, I think first off, they did a great job. They had a specific plan for him, not just with Trufant, but also helping with the safety, and credit to them. And then, there's 2 plays that can make a difference. He drops 2 balls in there, the go route late, and then the screen before the blocked field goal that's going to hit up in there, maybe score. So those change numbers a lot on those 2 plays. But I put some on myself too. You got to look that we move him around so much, and he's still just halfway through his 2nd year. I got to make sure that we're not doing too much with him, and that it's starting to water down, because he does have a lot on him, and you saw us have to use 2 timeouts because of it, because where he was lined up wrong. So you got to look at that coaching first.
Have you seen his level of frustration grow throughout the season, just with the holding and pass interferences down the field?
Yeah, he does get frustrated. A lot of people do try to hold him, obviously, which is a smart thing to do, and not let him off the line of scrimmage. And he was really frustrated, I think, on the last play there, because the guy grabbed his face mask and they didn't call it. And as a receiver, you don't like it's a one-on-one matchup. It looks like you dropped the ball, and so he was frustrated. He'll learn from it.
Because you've been on the road for so long, are you concerned about them being too amped up, too excited about being back home now?
No, I think they're just relieved. I think they're relieved to make it through, not just 4 road games, but including the long East Coast trip and all the camp and preseason hype, all that stuff. And so I think it's a good time to calm down and get back in rhythm and just practice and go play ball.
You said yesterday you want to put a great product on the field this Saturday. Can you kind of expand on what you meant by that?
I don't remember using that exact term, great product. I just want to go play really well. I would probably be referring to that. Like every week, you want to go play really well and play cleaner, not so many penalties. Keep pitch a shutout on turnovers. We were close, and just play good football.
The defense already has almost as many takeaways at this point as it did all of last year. What do you think has been one of the biggest differences for that?
Well, I think really, a veteran group back there in the back 7, a great pass rush with the addition of 2 brand new guys and Leonard Williams. Rushing the passer inside, he's made a big difference. And so I just think it's a combination of those things.